What is up, Archer Gangs? Today we have an addition to our arsenal. It is Artemisia, another Archer Gang in here. Now, let me ask you something real quick. So this is going to be part of our video and topic. What do you think will increase the absorption of your shield? Any type of shield, either for the Skullus coin or for like Alexander's shield or even for Charles Martel. Let me know in the comment section below, and we are going to be answering that in the video. So let me know in the comment section below what will increase the damage absorption for the coin or in general for shield. So the two topics here today, we're going to talk about how amazing Artemisia is and why I have said that Artemisia is the best legendary commander as of right now. This is the new meta, and trust me, it is true. And second, we're going to talk about the coin because we got him and we crit them. So of course, we're going to be talking about it. So welcome back, rockers. I'm Shinji42, your Archer Gang in here. If you're a Siege Gang, we're cool. But if you're a Cav Gang, you're out. Infantry Gang, come on. It's easy for us. We're Archer Gangs. Archer Gangs above Infantry Gang. Alright, so let's do a brief discussion here with Artemisia. She has a self-inflicting damage, right? We'll talk about it in our talent build as well. Artemisia has great stat bonus, 20% defense and 20% health. We're also going to talk about that with our equipments later on. Artemisia has another defensive mechanism in here. Normal attack damage reduction of 10%. This is a very big reduction. Plus, she also has a chance to disable the enemy, disabling their normal attack. I want you to understand in here, one normal attack, let's say it comes from Attila and Takeda, and you were able to negate one turn of that. That's a huge damage that you just had evaded. Now, the fourth skill and the expertise, these skills are going to increase damages, okay? That's just the basic of it. But there's one thing that I'm slightly confused. Maybe somebody can explain it better, but I'm also going to try to ask, the support system and how this actually works. So in the future, I will give you more information about it. But right now, based on what I understand in here, if you swarm a target that Artemisia is attacking, they will take continuous damage of a 400 damage factor each second. That's for 3 seconds. So based on what I understand here, what Artemisia is doing, she is providing a negative buff towards the opponent. But let me know what you think. Now, did you make a comment already about the Skullus Lucky Coin? How can you increase the damage absorption of the shield? Have you? Let me know. Now, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, definitely subscribe now. We create a lot of Rise of Kingdoms content, and if you appreciate this video, let's get up to like 1,000 likes into this one. Let's see if we can handle that as a community in here. It's a challenge gang. If you're part of the challenge gang, 1,000 likes, challenge gang. Alright, so you're an Archer Gang and you have Artemisia, or hell, you want to know how is Artemisia being built so you can counter Artemisia. Well, let me tell you this. This is going to be my build for open field battle. Now, how often am I going to be using Artemisia for open field? Probably very rare, right? I probably won't be switching a whole lot, right? We're going to be using Artemisia for defense. But if you are going to use her for open field, she's a very, very good commander as well. But she really is going to shine in the garrisoning. So whenever she's on a structure, she is going to shine. Now, initially, this was my path, which I have shared to you guys. Now, I kind of have a change of heart again, but you're going to like it, okay? So I had a discussion with somebody, and we've discussed some of the things in here with the talent tree. No, you know what? The person gave me a very good point that we're wasting a lot in the marching speed in here. Instead, we can be focusing on raw stats. So I built my way, the same thing in here, because I really like the defense tree and the garrison tree that I have currently, but I was just a little bit iffy on the archer tree. So we tested this garrison. We've actually tested this today, and it was a very, very good result. So I, instead from going from the right side of the archer tree, I went to the left side of archer tree. At least I know my right and left, right? So what I've done, what I've done now is that we picked the raw stats. You can see the archer health. Now, health's a little bit difficult to obtain, right? But in the stats of archers, you get great amount of health stats in here. And then we also have archer attack and also another archer attack in here. I am now not a big fan of razor sharp because it's such a minimal addition to your rage that I think it's a waste of talent, and somebody had pointed this out to me. It's probably one of those talents that tricks you to spend your talent points from the razor sharp. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. Now, with this talent, I've also built my garrison into the King's Guard. Some people don't like it, but I prefer that you get like 3% bonus for each stats in here: attack, defense, and health. Now, what's happening with that, we're really boosting up Artemisia. Remember, one of her skill, increase her 20% defense and 20% health. And we're adding more buff into this one. Now, with this talent, what you can see is that we have 14.5% attack, 6% defense, and 3% health. So we have a very low health in here. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with the equipment to improve our health and improve our defense. We're not that worried about attack anymore. So here's my equipment. Here's my gear. Now, I've mentioned earlier about health, right? So with my gear, I have about 8% health in here. Where you can see it is from my commander's heavy armor and my Shio's return. Now, if I do my raw stats plus my equipment, I will have 11% health. With that alone, I think I'm good. Remember, we have the King's Guard as well that will increase our health further whenever Artemisia is serving as a garrison commander. To me, I think that's worth it enough, and it's good. We don't need to increase health exponentially. So let's understand what HP means, right? HP is shortened as health points, or some people may say hit points. So what happens when your HP goes to 0? When your HP goes to 0, you go back home. That's pretty much it. And you get some injured troops. Now, HP is deemed to where how much damage or how much turns of attack can you take. Let's say you have 100 HP. How many punches can you take before it goes down to 0? Now, you can have, let's say, 10 punches to go for the 0. But if you have 10 punches to go to 0, I think that's too short, right? Would it be better to have 20 punches before you go to 0? That's the question. How can you make it from 10 punches to 20 punches? What you need to do now is to have defense. You can have a high health, but if you have a low defense, you're still going to melt. My approach in here is to have a higher defense and moderate health. Maybe about 5 points more on defense. That's what I kind of want to do. Now, we talked about we have a total of 11% health as a raw stats. So my total defense is now 5 plus 3, which is also 8. Now I have to add that plus 6%, which is my raw defense. So that's going to be about total of 14%. So I'm a little bit up with my defense compared to my health. Now, ideally, I want to build another gloves in here that is going to focus on defense, but currently I don't have them. Now for the helm, that's fine. We have to increase the attack as well. We can't just have no attack at all, even though we are a very defensive commander. You still want to have some damage output, because if not, you are still going to lose. But you have to understand that with the stats that we have, the raw stats that we have for attack is already high. We have about 14.5% raw stats already. Plus, we're going to be adding this another 4% of attack. So that's going to be about 18.5% attack. Now, raw stats, okay? That's not even including some of the stats in here that are situational based. So if you had a good understanding of what I'm talking about right now, is that my point of trying to get across in here is that you should not focus solely on health. Focusing on health alone will not do you good. You need to balance your health and defense in a ratio. I would say about maybe 3 to 5 points. I said 5 points earlier. That's my range that I like. I also want to talk about this coin. Remember, I asked you to put it down in the comment section below. What would actually increase my Skull-less coin damage absorption? Or even for, like, if you have a commander like Alexander or Charles Martel, what can you do to increase their damage absorption? Remember, we've talked about this in the attack, defense, and health video. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Search Attack, Health, and Defense, Shinji 42. Think about this one. I mentioned there what a damage factor means. Understand that now I have a damage factor of 650 because I'm lucky and I crit, right? Damage factor is a constant value, it's a constant number, but whenever you understand or see a damage factor, the damage part of it, it will calculate for this damage factor, will calculate the number of troops, and it's also going to calculate with the attack portion of it. If I increase my archer attack in here, what's going to happen is my total absorption is also going to increase. Remember, we have said that we have about 18.5%. So now that 18.5% is going to help us to absorb more damage. But as the troops goes down, of course, we're going to absorb less and less and less, because as you lose troops, you lose damage and your calculation also goes down, right? So that's just a basic concept of how it works. Now, there's a lot of details in there, and honestly, your brain is gonna go get fried in here. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, some of you guys are students, and you don't need additional math to work on, especially I think it's almost summer for most people. But just to give you guys the gist of it, that's how the shield works. If you increase the attack, your shield absorption will also increase. Now, you may be wondering, not so sure. I would challenge you then, test it out, and I can tell you that that's actually how it's going to work. I've actually asked the devs about this one, and they have said that that is the correct mindset as well. So now the question is we can't just stop from this video. We have to also talk about the pairings, right? Now, Ramses came out with Artemisia. I wouldn't really say that Ramses is going to be a very good pair for Artemisia in defense. You lose 40% of attack bonus. That's a lot. We haven't tested this one yet, but I'm still iffy about doing it because you really lose a lot of attack bonus. And that's a passive attack bonus. It's massive. It's better for rallying. Now, here's the thing though. With Artemisia, it's fine if I take, 10% reduction in here if I am not serving as a garrison. I would rather not take the loss of a 40% than a 10%. So what pairings can you do with Artemisia? You can actually do a Wu Zutian if you have Wu. Very good combination. So another thing is using Yi Song Ye. So in a situational base, I would typically, if I was the one defending, what I would do is I would use Yi Song Ye if I'm defending like flags. Now, if I'm going to be defending for a pass, I wouldn't really try to use Yi Song Ye in that scenario. Now, you may say, yes, there's an AoE, but I can pick a better garrison defender than Yi Song Ye in that situation. Like I mentioned, Wu Zetian is a very good combo in here if I'm defending, right? So keep in mind that Artemisia already has AoE in here. I mean, you get double AoE having Yi Song Ye, but it all depends on how you are going to approach. Either way that you choose, you're going to get good result. So it just depends on how good of a result you want to get. Like I mentioned, everything is going to come out more details in the future because we don't want to reveal a lot of information right now because we are getting into fighting pretty soon. Another thing that you can do as well is combinations like Tomiris, right? And you can actually even work with El Cid as well, right? Adding more disability into it. And we'll go into more details in the future videos about this one. Another thing that I want to see is, I don't have the opportunity, but I'm actually starting to work on Constantine, is to do an Artemisia and Constantine. Imagine the damage taken reduction increasing in here and the attack reduction. Your Artemisia is already tanky, and this is going to make it even more tankier. Now, what I like with Constantine is that even though we lose this value for the infantry because we're going to be running for archers, you do get the value of everything in here, right? You do get it, right? So what's nice about this one is whenever you're serving the garrison, you get bonus in here. Now the watchtower, you're not going to get that if you're in the flag. And also you have another reduction from cavalry. So majority of people that are going to be rallying are cabs. So if you're defending with Constantine in there, with Artemisia, it's going to work out really nice. Now you're probably wondering, saying, why am I leading with Artemisia? I will tell you in a little bit here. Another here, skill damage reduction, another one. If you're getting rallied by Con CC, you can negate this, a lot of the skill damage. And also, this is new, right? New skill. So it's going to increase the troop attack by 15% and 5% defense. Now, again, this is raw stats that are being increased. And think about it. For me, I have the coin. It would increase my absorption, and defense gonna increase everything in here. Your active skill, absorption, defense in here is going to increase. So all of that in normal attack, right? So you're gonna be able to negate those things. Now keep in mind that this is going to be really nice for me because the skill damage taken reduction is going to work whenever you have a coin. Now, if you don't have a coin, then it's not going to be as much beneficial. The only thing that you trigger in here is the healing factor. So that's a key thing to mention, right? Coin. If you have the coin, it's worth it to get Constantine. So if you are one of those lucky players to have crafted the coin, Constantine is definitely a must now to have. Now, an epic commander, we gotta make sure to mention one epic at least. So one of the players here in 228 have mentioned this to me, and it was a very good idea what he had mentioned. You're going to be increasing the damage taken reduction here by 10%, although you might not get the health bonus, but it's fine. You get the garrison, so you're getting like 17% damage reduction in here, and you're also going to boost the skill damage. It's actually insane. Actually, Xun is a very tanky commander, 17% reduction if you are in a garrison. So it's a viable option to actually put Xun if you don't have a lot of the commanders that are in the legendary like Wu Zetian. If you don't have those kind of commanders, you can actually use Xun with Artemisia. So one of the reasons why we want Artemisia as a primary commander because of her defense tree. Now, Archer gangs, I hope this was a very good video. If you are a Cav gang who is spying us on Archer gangs video, hopefully you've learned something here as well, and maybe you can figure out some things to kind of counter us. For infantry gang, I'm definitely sure that you have benefited from this video, knowing how the shield works if you actually didn't know yet. So I'm really curious what you guys have put down in the comment section below. So I'm definitely going to be looking at those and let's see who actually got them right. Anyway, rockers, thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time. So for those who are siege gangs, I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you guys. Anyway, see you guys next time. Just tap that screen, doing the bro fist in here. Tap the screen, don't ruin it. See you guys later.